What up, my good people? I am being true. That is Cam, Ursa Cam with a K, and Cody James Queen with a C. I am filling in today for second down for the homie Christian Go Care. Shout out to Christian. Happy birthday, by the way, Christian. I hope you are enjoying yourself. Got a lot to get to on second down, a lot going on. But with everything going on, Cam and Cody, I want to get right to it. We're going to put some respect on this young man's name. His name, listen, first name Trigger, last name Trey. That will be Trigger Trey Young, one of the best players in the NBA. And I know he always going to be getting compared to Luka Doncic because that's who Atlanta Hawks drafted when they first got him and traded him. But I'm going to go straight to you, Cam. Something we were talking about, before the show. I know that they won the last team standing. I know they got game 2 tonight, but I want to know where you think Trey ranks, because I think he's a top 20 player. Some people say top 10, top 15, but where do you think Trey Young, where does he rank in your mind as far as like the top talent in the NBA?
He has to be top 15 now. After what he's done, he has to be. Cody got me. I admit that. Couple of weeks ago, probably like a week or two ago, he said top 15. I was like, no way. But I don't know exactly the exact number, but I'll put him top 15 because what he's doing is kind of record breaking. We've probably never really seen this out of a 22-year-old. Probably LeBron. He was 22, took Cleveland to the finals. And then AI wasn't 22 in 2001, but it's a run similar to this. So he's doing some great things. He's top 15. Hell, if you want to say a top 25, a top 5 point guard, you could do that. You could do that. That's an argument.
Now, Cam, I want to stay right there too. See, this is the thing. Every time Trey does something, right, it's, oh well, he did this, but oh well, if he would have played back when Mike and them played, or if he's not big enough, people compare him to Steph, right? Because he got unlimited range. I think he is AI. When you think about the fact that he's not the biggest dude, right? Hasn't won an MVP yet. But, I want to go through some names real quick. LeBron, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, Giannis, Chris Paul, Jokic, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Luka Doncic, and I got Trey. This is what people don't realize about that. Out of all those names, only 3 guys still playing. And that would be CP3, Giannis, and Trey. It's got to mean something, right? If your team is still in it, and you got an interim head coach, and you talking about a guy for which people are always going to say, well, he only one-dimensional when he's averaging double-digit assists every single game, told them Knickerbockers not this year, shut down the process, and dare I say, got Giannis and them kind of feeling nervous. 48 points, his first game ever in the Eastern Conference Finals. Why do you think people are afraid to just give this man his due respect without trying to add all these adjectives that got to go along with it?
Because he's so young, he's small, and then the Luka trade. Don't get me wrong, we all know Luka's a tad bit better player, but it's not far anymore. It's no loser in that trade. But Trae Young is the best facilitator in the game right now. I know people don't want to hear that, but he's the best facilitator in the game. Him or Chris Paul is neck and neck right now, but he's a better scorer than Chris Paul. And unlike Luka, Trae Young's gotten past the first round. I like Luka, but Luka can't get out the first round. He can't even get to the second round. Trae Young's in the conference finals, having the chance to go to the finals. So he's doing some unprecedented things that we never really seen before from a 22-year-old since LeBron back in 07. So it's been a long time. It's just people don't like change, but they need to get used to it. It's a young man's game right now, and I'm loving it right now. It's a young man's game.
I am being true, but filling in for Christian Go Care. This is second down. That is Cam Ursa, Cody James Queen. And speaking of Cody, man, we were talking about Trey, and I know that I don't like it's Trey. No. Reggie Miller said this. The great Reggie Miller said you need to start putting super in front of star when you start talking about this young boy. When you think about Trey, where does he rank as far as like the best in the league, Cody? And obviously what Cam said, do you think he's already a top 5 point guard?
Well, in the show meeting, we were literally going through see who we can pick in front of him and pick behind him. I'd say he's at number 12 in my list. I got a few guys ahead of him. Obviously, my number 1 on my list. I know you disagree with me, but you pick LeBron. I got Steph Curry, number 1 on my list in the league. Steph Curry should have won MVP. But top 5 point guard, I think he's number 5. I think he's exactly number 5 when it comes to point guard. Somewhat, BJ was saying he had Kyrie ahead of him.
Because of the resume.
Well, the resume back in the day doesn't mean anything. The man can't stay healthy these days. So if we're talking about 2021 players, my man Trey's better than Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving is a shooting guard.
Couldn't stay healthy, and that's literally Ben. You are a professional freaking player.
Mhm.
Isn't that a big part of the game? Is being on the court or on the field?
Yeah, health is wealth. I mean, you can't make the club in the tub.
Yeah.
I definitely understand that. I understand that. I just, for me, Trey Young takes on the not so what. I mean, the thing about the Hawks, they don't really have a history, right? When you think about the fact that the Hawks had the best record, went to the Eastern Conference Finals, got swept by LeBron and them, and that's when we had all 5 starters were all stars. But I look at what he's doing with a team that's never ever expected to do much. People hoping they would be the 8th, 9th seed, maybe had to play their way into the playoffs. No, they took down the number 1 team in the East. That would be the 76ers. Took down the upstart Knickerbockers, who they got the coach of the year, Tom Thibodeau. Get out of here with that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? You and Spike Lee can go see that exit. And now Giannis and the Bucks, they've been put on notice. You're not going to foul Trey Young at the end of the game because he's clutch. He gets his teammates involved. I mean, Collins and Capella, you know what I'm saying, Herder, and I'm just telling y'all, the reason why Trey Young don't get the just dudes is not because of how he plays, it's because of who he plays for. Cam, you grew up, listen, Cam, you from the ATL, shout out, peace up, A-Town down. You know what it's like being a fan of the pro sports teams in Atlanta. What don't you like about, just take Trey away for a second. Why so much disrespect for them Hawks?
I think the Hawks get a lot of disrespect because of them Falcons, man. But we're not going to touch on that right now. They get the disrespect because the Falcons and stuff like that. But they don't like I said, they don't like to see change. If you look at the teams that have won the championship in the East, I think it's been Boston, Miami, and the Pistons in the last 20 years since I've been alive. Boston, Miami, and the Pistons. That's it. That's it. In Cleveland, one time. In Toronto. So 5 teams in the last 20 years. That's it. They don't like change. It's always been the same people. It's been LeBron dominating 4 of those 5 championships. So, yeah, he gets a lot of hate, but Trey's out there doing his thing. He's out there doing his thing.
I think the hate is that they're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So no one's like even giving a crap about him. It's not about hate. It's just people not giving a crap about him. No one cares about him. You know what I mean? And now I don't blame people jumping on the wagon now because it's a lot better to have late support than no support at all. You know what I mean? But they fired a head coach, like a quarter of the way through the year. And they go into it, 2 weeks before they were like barely the 8th seed, go on a winning streak at the end, go up to the 5th seed, I think they are.
Yeah.
They go all the way up to the 5th seed. Literally 2 weeks before the season ended, they didn't even know they're going to get into the playoffs. They were almost like fighting with the Magic in them. Magic was, because I'm a Magic fan, was jumping from 10 to 8 back and forth like every freaking day. But the Hawks steadily kept on winning and went up to the 5th seed. So a lot of people were used to them being on the verge until literally the last 2 weeks of the season, until them getting into the 5th seed. So a lot of people just like don't care about them because they have not been relevant. They have not been relevant at all. Even when they are relevant, they get swept. Just like you were saying about LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals. So no one's really even thinking they're going to do anything. It's not that they're hating on him, I think. It's just they don't care about him. And they don't show him any respect because they've not really earned any respect in the past. So
yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Everybody thought that when LeBron left the East, right, the East was gonna be like, a cakewalk. Then here come Giannis, right? Then you start talking about Tatum out there with the Celtics.
Yep.
Then you start talking about, Levine and those boys, in Chicago. Then you talk about the fact that, Toronto, not too many years removed from them winning the championship, even though Kawhi done moved on to LA. You talk about the process in Philadelphia. You talk about Jimmy Butler down there in Miami. There are good teams throughout the East. And all those teams are watching. They watching them Hawks. All those teams I just mentioned starting to finish with their head coach.
KD's on the bench.
All those teams that I mentioned are not being led by a guy who wasn't expected to be this good this early. No, what it is it's something. It's like you said, Cam. It's that moniker of pro sports in Atlanta. Oh, it's the Braves. Oh, it's the Falcons. Oh, it's the Hawks. No. I do like what you said about they don't like change. They better get used to it because this is the thing.
Yeah.
I love what Clint Capella is doing. I know we got, what I'm saying, Lemon Pepper Lou. They ain't asking him to do that much. What's gonna happen?
Lemon Pepper Lou.
What's gonna happen when you get some big time veterans that want to come to the A-Town to play with old Trae Young? Because I'm telling y'all, it's already scary. I know Al Horford just got traded, back to the Celtics, for Kemba Walker. Think about that. These max players getting traded 2 or 3 years in. Trae is still on his rookie contract. I know that old Collins didn't pick up that extension. I think he's gonna revisit that, and I know that Nate McMillan has earned a contract extension as well. But I like this young Hawks team because the people who have the most fun at any party is the people that got the last 2 tickets, the people that barely snuck in, the people like, hey man, what Cam and Ben and Cody doing here? I'm sorry, we got tickets to be here. We gonna eat a little more than we should. We gonna be looking for the to-go boxes. We gonna talk a little louder, but we supposed to be here. Ask Giannis how good Trae is. Ask Middleton how good Trae is. Ask PJ Tucker how good Trae is, because Trae, 48 points, double-digit assists, 7 rebounds. That's like 3 people in one. And he's 6'1". So for me, I just love it. I love the fact that people like, dude, if he ain't that good, what they doing here? What he doing here? And I love Luka. I think Luka is the top 10, top 15, top 20 talent in the NBA, but he's watching. I love KD. KD win the war size 22 shoe. They probably would be, in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Trae would have dropped 48 on them. So I just think that people, hey, listen, you might not get used to it. You need to get used to it. It's trick or Trae Young. You don't got to like how he look, just respect that man's game, because what they really ain't gonna like if them boys make it to the finals, because then the world is watching. Because wasn't it? They don't supposed to make it to the first round. Don't supposed to make it to the second round. They on schedule, right? First round, 1 game 1. Second round, 1 game 1. Eastern Conference Finals, 1 game 1, which means they got a chance for this thing to go 7. Which I think Trick or Trae, he's shishing in the garden. He's taking bows. I'm just saying, I love what Trae is doing.
Since no one's heard you on the show, what is your predictions? I said Hawks in 5. Cam, what'd you say?
7.
I think it's gonna go 7 for me, because the thing about this, Giannis is gonna be Giannis. I mean, Middleton. I mean, I don't know who is gonna stop him. Holiday. I mean, it's not talked about how good he is, and the Bucks got chemistry like the Hawks do. They got a really, really good chemistry. I really, really think they ought to, put freaking Giannis on the timer when he's on the freaking free throw line. I mean, I think it takes entirely too long. But for me, no matter what the Hawks do at this point, even though I want them to keep winning, them boys have put the league on notice. We out here. We ain't going nowhere. And we one of the youngest teams in the NBA. But listen, so much to get to on this show. But when we come back, listen, I'm a former tight end. Love what the tight ends are doing now.
I can't wait to talk to you about this.
Got this thing in here. Got this new thing called, ran by Greg Olsen, George Kittle, and Travis Kelce, called Tight End U. I am Ben True. That is Cam Ursher. That is Cody James Queen. This is Second Down, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Second Down. I am Ben Troop. That is Cody James Queen. That is Cam Mercer filling in for Christian Gokel. Christian, man, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. Hope you enjoying yourself, sir. If you are somewhere listening to Second Down, you, sir, are a loser, Christian. If that is what you're doing, you know it's all love.
Last year of his 20s, dude. Last year of his 20s.
Listen, last year of the 20s. Welcome to the Dirty 30s, a.k.a. things going to start breaking down that you didn't mess up, a.k.a. you're going to start having
Hey, Cam, it'll be you next, dude.
Oh, yeah,
Cam
Cam got a long way to go, man.
Oh, you roll.
90s babies, dude, is coming for you guys.
Somebody say this. Listen, when you go from buying Jordan for yourself to buying Jordan for your little man, little lady, you can't take the time for that. But once again, man, this is Second Down, man. Filling in for Christian Gokel. I'm being true. That's Cody James Quinn. That's Cam Mercer. Look, I saw something yesterday that really brought joy to my heart. Being a former tight end in the National Football League, being a tight end my entire football career, I saw something that really like brought a tear to my eye. I saw Tight End University, ran by George Kittle, Greg Olsen, Travis Kelce, and they asked George Kittle, why tight end you? George Kittle, arguably one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Travis Kelce, arguably one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Greg Olsen just retired. And they said, we want to bring these guys together. It's about a brotherhood. They said guys got to run block, pass block. They got to go out there and do pass pro. They got to run routes against DBs. They got to pick up the blitz. They got to basically do everything but throw the football. And I'm very, very proud of these dudes. Games like, Darren Waller, David Njoku, Zach Ertz, Mark Andrews, Noah Fant, Austin Hooper, Kyle Rudolph, and the list goes on and on. What I like the most about what these tight ends are doing, they realizing that we are better together. We all play for different teams. We all got the same goal, but we are better together. Cam, one guy that's there is a guy that I'm, pretty familiar with. Went to the University of Florida, wears number 8, used to wear number 84, Kyle Pitts. I mean, how much could a guy like Kyle Pitts benefit from a brotherhood of tight ends who he might have the best skill set of all of them, but he still haven't done what most of those guys have done yet?
He can benefit so much because these guys are already proven. They're proven commodities. I know Kyle Pitts isn't proven yet, but we have high expectations for him in Atlanta. But it can help a lot. But I love this. The tight end is a huge weapon in the NFL. I'm just going to give notable names real quick. Darren Waller, beast. Travis Kelce, beast. George Kittle, he's a beast. You got Noah Fant, Njoku. You got guys like that. Austin Hooper, he was a big-time tight end for the Falcons and now a big-time tight end for the Browns. They're a weapon now, and they do more than pretty much everybody on the field. They have to run block, pass block sometimes, and go out there and catch a pass as well. It's unique. I like it personally, and they need more love at the college level as well. I seen Clemson the other day saying they want to open up their passing game and get the tight end more involved. They've been wanting to do that for the past couple of years. So I like that. I love to hear that. I love to see this. It's just going to make the game evolve more. And Kyle Pitts, he's going to have a big year. He might win Offensive Rookie of the Year too.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. Wearing that number 8 on his chest and on his back with that Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts is in a unique category. But this is what I like the most about it. When you coming into something, you already have guys that's doing what you're doing that you admire. But you don't, and you want to put the olive branch out and say, hey man, I want to get some of that wisdom. It's better when they call you, hey Cam, hey man, we see what you're doing, man. We want to invite you to this. And now you get to sit down and listen to the guys that's been doing it. But what if George Kittle and Travis Kelce and Greg Olsen and Austin Hooper and and Kyle Rudolph and David Njoku and the list goes on and on, say, hey Kyle, you the one. You the one can take this thing to another level. You the highest drafted tight end in NFL history. Maybe if you go out there and do what we've been doing collectively, but you do your thing individually, could a tight end potentially go number 1 overall? I never thought a tight end would go number 4, number 3, or number 2. But what I'm saying is now, if you have a good game or a bad game, instead of your family calling you, George Kittle calling up Austin Hooper, hey man, hey boy, keep your head up. Hey, I saw this. Because when you really think about it, Cam and Cody, you really care about your peers, right? Like the fans are the fans. Your family gonna side with you because they're your family, even if you ain't playing where they biased. They have a reason to be. But when your homies calling you saying, hey, number 1, keep your head up. Hey, don't let that get to you. That's what keep you going because we pattern our games after people that do it. Like, Cam, me and you, we sneakerheads, right?
Oh, yeah.
30-something sneakerhead, 20-something sneakerhead. it's not the sneakers we got, it's the ones we don't. They be like, whoa, let me see that. What you know what I'm saying? And you realize that, I'm not, I got somebody to share my enthusiasm. I got somebody to share my love of what I'm doing. And Cody, I know a guy that you're very interested in being. There's Noah Fant. I know there's no bias there, but how much could a guy like Noah Fant benefit from, learning from guys like Kelsey and Kittle to be able to take back to Denver and say, man, I just added some tools to the toolbox?
Well, there's a few guys on here just like him who have not really had any real tight end veterans consistently around him on the team. It seems like every year the Broncos are getting like another old guy and then only for a year and letting him go. So he's not really had anybody there who's been there long enough to really explain to him, or anybody who's been on a team for longer than a few years to really explain to him certain things and how it goes. So that benefits him enough. I want to give a shout out to all the tight ends. I think tight ends is slowly turning into the most important offensive weapon on the field when it comes to passing than any other besides a quarterback. Like, because you got Kyle Pitts right now who can line up as a wideout. He can line up as a tight end. And some people didn't really bring up his blocking, but his blocking is actually not that bad. So whenever it comes to that, like Travis Kelce, really good at that. But your favorite, George Kittle, you know what I mean? Great blocker, loves to block, loves to hit. But you got some of these younger guys out there, like you were saying, with Noah Fant, TJ Hawkinson, an up-and-comer coming from Detroit. A lot of people think he's like a top 5 tight end right now. I don't know if I would say that, but a lot of these young guys who have these journeyman backup tight ends that like Detroit never signs a backup tight end or even a tight end longer than like a year or two. So I don't know, from your years playing, you at one point, Ben, you were like a top 12, like of receiving for tight ends in the league. Do you think that would have helped you? Because in your year 2, you were extremely good. And I don't know if you had any help, because you were saying behind the scenes earlier that you didn't really have any contact, because this is before all the social media stuff happened. How much would that have helped you in like 04, 05?
Oh, it would have been incredible. I mean, my career, I credit my career to Aaron Kenny, a tight end that went to Florida 5 years before me and was with the Titans when I got there, because he pulled me under his wing. What I was saying was that camaraderie. Like, I did an inter-squad scrimmage my rookie year with the Falcons. I'm so busy looking at Michael Vick. I'm like, that's what that dude, you know what I'm saying? They go Algie Crumpler, though. Like, Algie Crumpler was like 4 or 5 time Pro Bowler. That was Michael Vick's go-to guy. So for me, it's about what it says. Like, man, you know how confident you got to be in your ability when you can give away what you got? Like, it's like LeBron. Most of these guys that's coming up, James Harden, Steph Curry, Kyrie, they went to LeBron James camp. Doesn't mean that they don't become incredible players, but LeBron, like, dude, y'all not gonna do it on the level that I've done it. And for me, I remember when Levine and all those boys was watching Team USA, they out there watching Blake Griffin, them dunk, they got on like little cardigans, and I'm telling you, that's what it's about. It's saying, hey man, I want my legacy to be bigger than what I do on the field. I want my legacy to be bigger than the catches and the yards and the Pro Bowls and Super Bowls and all pros. Travis Kelce just went 105 catches, 1,400 yards. As a tight end, I think he might lead the league in yards last year. So for me, it's giving that knowledge away, because when I can tell you how to get open, I'm telling you what, dude, I'm still chasing me. Y'all still trying to do what I'm doing. I mean, Greg Olsen, first tight end to go back to back, 1,000 yards, and who broke that? Travis Kelce. He went 4 straight years. So yeah, it would have helped me out a lot.
God dang, 4 straight years, dude.
It would have helped me out a lot, because one, it shows that the same people I admire me. The same games that I pattern, they pattern after me. And that's what I want, man, because we all different. Mercedes Lewis is there. Mercedes Lewis is going to, I think, year like 16 or something like that, 16, 17. And he's going to be the expert on blocking, because he plays for Green Bay. He's shocked just like we are when he catch a pass. But I think it's about what it says, man. I want to have a brotherhood, not just because we talk about it, but we trying to be about it. Shout out to them boys, George Kittle, Greg Olsen, who is retired, as well as Travis Kelce, boys trying to pay it forward. I am being true. That is Cam Ursula with a K. That is Cody James Quee with a C. This is Second Down, filling in for Christian Gokel. I don't know what we're gonna talk about when we get back, but you know what? Y'all may not go nowhere else, because you get to see Cam, you get to see Cody. I got to get out of here, man, because I got to go pay some bills, aka get ready for the next go round. Sitting somewhere on the beach with your feet up, sipping iced tea, listening to us on Second Down. You, sir, are a loser. Second Down. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Second Down, brought to you by the Uniform Source. Guys, go out there and check them out for all your uniform needs. I'm Cody Queen, filling in for Christian Gokel today on this Friday afternoon. I am also joined by Cam Ursery out there, young gun coming up into the company. Guys, I do want to put this out there. This is my last week at ESPN Savannah, ESPN Coastal. Next Friday will be my last day here. So I want to thank everybody for who's been a part of the show and everything that they've done for me. Cam, hopefully we'll continue the legacy of Cody Queen around here. So guys, this is my last week, 7 days left. Tomorrow, Back Nine Boys, check us out. It will be my last day on there. Also, it is from 8 to 9. Check them out. Also, 3 and Out after us. They have a lot to talk about today. It is the 10-year anniversary of Russell Wilson transfer. They're going to talk about that. And they also had some words from Gus Malzahn about the 12-team playoff, which I want to get into right now. Cam, the 12-team playoff, we've had a lot to talk about that. Plenty to talk about that. Gus Malzahn said it's a game changer and that they have a real shot every year. Do you believe UCF, because it's been very controversial that the UCF claimed the national championship, all that. Do you think not only just them, but the AAC, how they're kind of rising up? Because, you know, you'll see some fall, like Cincinnati's in there and all that. And Memphis will do good once in a while, but UCF is consistently getting in the top 25 now. Do you see UCF making the 12-team playoff, and do you think they're going to do anything with it whenever they do make the 12-team playoff, if they do?
Oh, definitely. I think so, because it's not now. The 12-team playoff doesn't start now in 2021. It starts in 2 years. So Malzahn has 2 years for himself and the program to get themselves together, bring some recruits in, some different type of recruits. We know we have a Ware County prospect, Thomas. He's going down there playing quarterback as soon as he signs his national letter of intent. Hopefully he does. But he has some nice recruits coming in. Thomas can play. He has some guys coming in, and yeah, they have a legitimate shot. This gives everybody a shot now, in my opinion. It depends on how good of a Sun Belt team you are. You could go there from the Sun Belt. The AAC is going to be prominent because Cincinnati is so good right now. If they repeat what they did last year, they'll put the AAC on notice. Memphis might come back. They've been, a little bit down the last 2 years ever since Antonio Gibson's left, but they might come back. And UCF, they're always in the thick of things. This just gives the little guy in college football a better chance to win and compete. They actually get a chance now to just compete. Every year it's, okay, we know they're going to win 11, 12 games, but then now we don't even know if they're going to get in a New Year's Six bowl game, but they're going to get in a bowl game. Now we're going to see them being able to compete, and you might have a G5 school that's good enough, like Cincinnati this year, crack the number 8 spot or crack a top 8 seed and get a home playoff game for the first round of the playoffs. That would be big, not just for them, but for college football, because now you get to see them, Cincinnati, play at home. You would have been able to see them host UGA this year.
Yeah, when it comes to UCF, I pretty much grew up down in Central Florida. I remember when it was a new up and coming university, but I do want to say, yeah. And whenever they claimed the national championship, I said this the other day. All right, so let's look at their resume. I'm not saying they would have won. I'm not going to give them a huge percentage chance that they would have won, but they beat a couple of 3 teams in the top 25. They went to a bowl game, beat Auburn by double digits. Auburn actually that year, I think with Bo Nix, I think he was a freshman, beat Alabama. So people who are using the argument as well, they wouldn't have won anyways. You can't tell me that.
That was
schools like that would be like that. You can't tell me that Cincinnati wouldn't be like that. You can't tell me that, let's say right now, some people have some weird teams. Let's see what weird teams are in top 25 right now. Indiana. Some people are, or North Carolina. Some people like North Carolina a lot. Some people like Sam Howell a lot. Now, this gives Sam Howell the chance to get into the playoffs if he stays in the top 12 and do some magic. Also, this gives us to really reel in more fans, right? It's going to reel in more fans, like NFL fans that didn't really agree with, the playoff style or even not paying the kids. They're kind of solving all the problems people really had that they had with college football. Because you got all these old heads who are just, and usually all these old heads that are complaining are huge SEC fans or Ohio State fans, and all they care about is because they're going to get in anyways. They have a better chance anyways. And you have people like Coastal Carolina and all that who are like, man, I wish we got a chance, and maybe their time's gone. Maybe Coastal Carolina will never be in the top 10 again, but last year would have been amazing if they would have went in it, and it would have been a blast. Also, you're going to reel in fans by home games in playoffs on primetime TV. So let's say if Notre Dame hosted a freaking home playoff game. Holy crap, dude. Holy crap. What if Oklahoma hosted a home playoff game? One of my favorite places where I used to live near is Austin, University, Texas, over near 6th Street. Imagine UT hosting a freaking home playoff game. UT goes nuts. Them Longhorns go nuts. Imagine Georgia between the hedges.
Yeah.
With the little red lasers, all that stuff at night, prime time, hosting a home playoff game. To me, you cannot go wrong with this. I don't understand people saying this diminishes from the regular season. How? I don't understand. If anything, it makes regular season count even more, right?
Yeah.
It makes it count even more. I don't know if you think that, but what do you think about people saying this diminishes from the regular season?
No, I 100% agree with you. It might make college football more competitive now because you're going to see teams schedule like each other. You might see UCF say, you know what? We don't even want to get snubbed for that 12 spot. LSU, whoever in the SEC, let us come to you, or you come to us and you play us. Even if we get a loss on our resume, if we're able to win out and possibly be very respectful and winning out, even after losing to you maybe by 2-3 points, then yeah. The year UCF claimed the national championship, they beat Auburn. You're right. That Auburn team with Jarrett Stidham blew out Georgia, I think 40-17 at home. And then the week after that, they beat Alabama, I want to say 30-17. And that was the same Georgia and Alabama team that went to the national championship to play each other that year. And then the year after that, they took LSU to the brink in the bowl game and lost to LSU by 8. So these teams can compete. They do belong. And I want to see them to get a legitimate shot. But this is the best thing for the game of college football. It's already the best sport. Now with this 12-team playoff extension, it's going to be the best sport by a mile. Home playoff games in college, you can't beat that. And then now, like I said, teams scheduling each other. They play each other during the regular season. You're going to see, I think, Georgia and Clemson this year. I want to say Georgia and Ohio State have a matchup, or Georgia or Oklahoma have a matchup in a couple of years. It's going to be awesome. I just can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, and this also, so let's say the championship game. So the SEC championship game will really end up being who gets seeded differently. So last year was Florida versus Alabama, right? And it was a great game, huge game, very fun game to watch. That dropped Florida down a little bit. At the end of the year, they were 7th. If they would have been seeded a little differently, they would have been able to play Alabama again in a rematch in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So when the SEC championship becomes almost another playoff game for seeding in a 12-team bracket, it kind of makes, to me, the regular season, if you want to count that, because I count that as a regular season game, much, much better. And also when it comes to Georgia and Florida, which if they're really good, which they usually are, they should be a top 12 team. That could literally be, they could seed against each other. You know what I mean? So Georgia could host Florida instead of being in Jacksonville, and vice versa. Florida could end up hosting Georgia, and probably one of the first times like in so long at a home field against a huge rivalry. There's so many different possibilities that we can mix up in our minds for different rivalries end up playing each other again. So FSU, to me, from growing up down in Florida and all that, a lot of people here say Florida and Georgia is a rivalry. If you live in Central Florida and stuff like that, I put it on my Facebook the other day, like a year ago, asking who they care more about. They care more about FSU because back in the day, FSU was winning championships and they were like relevant. You know what I mean? So FSU could end up being good again, and then they could have another game rivalry wise like that with FSU because FSU is not going to stay bad forever. FSU is not going to stay bad forever at all. Also, when it comes to let's say Auburn and Georgia, you know what I mean? That's a huge rivalry. Huge rivalry. What if they get to play again? You know what I mean? What if they get to play again in the playoffs? So let's say this would be amazing too. UGA, I know I'm doing all these different scenarios, but UGA plays Alabama in the regular season. UGA plays Alabama in the SEC championship. What if UGA plays Alabama again in the playoff championship? That's 3 amazing games that you have. Say if they do 1-1 like they've done before, and then it gets decided again in the national championship. Dude, I have no arguments with this. In Texas A&M last year, I was big into Texas A&M. Could have a chance this year, in 2023, they could have a chance again, and I feel like they really deserved the chance last year. They were an amazing team, and they got no chance because there was only 4 teams out of 130 something teams that made it. And I don't want to hear the arguments about the blowouts. Okay, maybe the top 2 teams will start blowing people out, but you can't tell me if the 12th seed played like the 8th seed or something like that, or however they're going to do it. Is it going to be an amazing game? And you're not going to be rooting for the underdog who's number 12, who wins 2 games in a row or something like that, like Loyola freaking Chicago does. People love underdogs. People love underdogs. For God's sakes, look at the Giants who went 9-7 and won the Super Bowl against the undefeated freaking Patriots. People were rooting for Eli and the Giants so much against the superpower. So say if you get a 12 seed team ends up playing Alabama, who's number 1, the nation's going to rally behind this 12 seed team. Not only do they want to see a smaller team defeat a Goliath of a superpower, but they also want to see anybody else besides the top 10 giants of the SEC and all that stuff do well. I think people are tired of seeing the same old stuff over and over and over and over and over. Because that's what it is. It's repetitiveness over and over and over and over. So when you go to a 12 seed, 12 team playoff, it's going to make it more competitive in my mind. But guys, we got to take a break real quick. After this, I'm going to talk Braves talk. I know we're dreading that Braves lose against the Reds last night. Plenty of stuff to talk about when it comes to that. Also, after this, 3 and Out will be on. Reggie Miller had something to say about Trae Young. Also, Russell Wilson, 10-year anniversary of his transfer. On 3 and Out, they will talk about that. Also, Trevor Lawrence and Kyle Pitts earn high marks coming out of camp. The guys will talk about that in the 3 o'clock hour. Also, they have a very weird Take 3 coming up. It is halfway till Christmas. So they are going to talk a little bit about that. But guys, I'm Cody Queen. That's Cam Mercery. We are brought to you by the Uniform Source, and we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Second Down, brought to you by the Uniform Source. I am Cody Queen. Follow me on Twitter at Cody_Queenie. Filling in for Christian Gokel, and I'm joined by Cam Ursery. Follow him, CamU ESPN on Twitter. Also, find our podcast, ESPNCoastal.com. Go to Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, anywhere you can find a podcast. Go ahead and look us up at ESPN Coastal, and Second Downs podcast will be right there. Guys, big show coming up. Guys, we'll talk about the Trevor Lawrence and Kyle Pitts. They earned high marks coming out of camp. Take Three's got some Christmas stuff in there, believe it or not, in July. Also, Reggie Miller talks on Trae Young. And the NFL is bringing back alternate helmets. Right now, we're going to talk about the Braves for a second, just for a second. Then we'll get to the helmets there, Cam. I know you're drooling about that. Braves lose again against the Reds. Cam, what do we take from this? 2 in a row. They win 2 in a row, lose 2 in a row. What's an expectation going up to the All-Star break for the Braves? Do you think they get over 500, or are they going to stay below?
It's hard to tell right now. I don't want to even predict that, but I would say stay under. I think this season right now, as far as it's looking, especially with the injuries, it's a wash. I don't know. I wouldn't want to say that because there's a lot of baseball left. But dang, man, a lot of these teams they're looking good now, and the Braves, they're just still stuck where they were day one a couple of months ago. So hopefully they can get together, All-Star break, come back together, rally the troops, galvanize the troops, whatever you need to do. But it's not looking too good for our Braves, man. It's not.
As I said, the Braves fell to the Reds 5-3 yesterday. Freddie Freeman is actually continuing his streak of doing well. The main man this year, I've been saying, is Austin Riley. Austin Riley had a good outing last night, a 1-hit, 1-run, and doing it pretty extremely well. Also, the pitching was okay, but not good enough. The bats didn't warm up enough. It's either one thing or the other for the Braves. But right now, I don't think they're going to get over 500. I don't think they're going to get over 500 for the rest of the season. I don't think they'll ever make it over 500 until they start getting some health back. But right now, I don't know what the answer is for them. But Cam, we have 1 minute left. The NFL is bringing back alternate helmets. Which alternate helmet are you looking forward to the most?
I can't lie, that Eagles alternate helmet, man. Whoo, that green just is different with the wings. Yeah, that's an all-time favorite. That Eagle helmet. That's the one I had in my mind. First thing that came to mind. So yeah.
First one in my mind was the baby blue Bronco, because I'm a Broncos fan, but the one I'm looking forward to is the old Buccaneers one. I know they're saying it because they are the champions, but those creamsicles, that helmet is one of the best helmets that have ever existed in the NFL. Also, the old Patriots one, when you have the Patriot literally hiking a football. I think Cam, if he stays there, will look slick in that with the visor. He would look amazing. Also, another one, old school Falcons helmet. Love it. That old school Falcons helmet, dude, like Dion type of stuff. Oh, yeah. I want to see that. But, guys, tune in next. Take 3. Like I said, they're going to be talking about Christmas, Reggie Miller, alternate helmets, Braves. For God's sakes, they're going to talk about – they're going to talk about the alternate helmets. Also, they will talk about the Trevor Lawrence, Kyle Pitts. But, guys, this is Second Down. We'll see you guys on Monday.